Hey barbecuers, coming up, Asian marinated skirt steak, and we're starting right now. Hey everybody, I'm Kevin with Holy Grail BBQ, where I teach you to cook like the pros using the latest equipment and techniques. So if you're looking to up your barbecue game, I invite you to subscribe down below. So today we're doing some Asian marinated skirt steak, and that's what's in this little package right here. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, I wanted to start with the marinade. We're gonna do this only for about 30 minutes. So it should work out perfect. You could use this for an evening meal. You could use this for a great weekend meal as well. So first thing, let's get some green onions, separated, whites and greens. And for the whites, I'm just gonna slice them thin. Don't need that many. So there's our whites. We'll put those to the side. And now for the greens. For the greens, I like to cut them slightly on the bias. Yeah, they're very small pieces, but you cut them slightly on the bias. It just gives it another level for presentation. Next, let's take care of some garlic. Now, I have to admit, I love Bobby Flay's technique on garlic. So, first thing we're going to do, we're going to crush this garlic to get the outside shell off of it. Shell, is that the right word for it? And then what Bobby Flay likes to do is mince it up a little bit. Oops. He gives it a nice rough chop and then adds some salt to it as an abrasive. We'll chop it up a little more and then start using the salt to make a paste. All the oils are starting to get extracted out of it, giving it so much more flavor. And next up, we're going to do some ginger. So I've got a very small hand here. We're not going to use much of this, maybe about half. And I'm just going to clean it up with my knife as best I can. Love the smell of ginger. Get another bowl here. And I'm just going to start grating this up. Now, I like a lot of ginger flavor. What I don't want to get is this fibery mess in there. I'm going to discard that, and we're going to use this instead. So let's start mixing the marinade now. So for this, the very base of our marinade, going to be soy sauce. Going to do about 3/4 of a cup. Up next, let's add the acidity parts of our marinade. So we're going to do some rice wine vinegar and some mirin. Now that's just sweetened sake. And to this, we're going to do about a 1/4 cup total of it. So maybe 3 tablespoons rice wine vinegar. And another 3 tablespoons of that mirin. Now this will give the acidity, but the mirin gives a little sweetness to it as well. Then we'll start with our oil components. Here's some sesame oil. A couple of tablespoons of that. And a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. The sesame oil can be very, very strong, so I don't want to overpower with that sesame oil. Then, let's start adding our dry ingredients. We got our ginger in there. And of course, our garlic. And the whites from our green onion. And let's get that mixed. Now, soy sauce has so much salt flavor, I really don't salt that, but I am going to add some pepper. Let me set that to the side just for a moment. Okay, let's get this steak marinating. So I went to the butcher and got a small skirt steak. Now, if you look at this, let me get this wrapper out of the way. This is absolutely perfect for stir fry, for any sort of fajitas, or got a fly terrorizing the barbecue pit here today. I want it to lay nicely. Getting it coated on all sides. There we go. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. Take a look at it. Look at the color that it got. You can tell that marinade really soaked deep down into the meat. It's time to get this onto the grill. I've got to change it up a little bit. Normally I use my Weber kettle for you folks. Today I'm going to go ahead and use my Green Mountain Grill's Daniel Boone model pellet smoker. And I've got it cranked way up. We're at about 500 degrees right now. This is not going to take long at all. It's so thin, this is going to cook really quick. So a couple minutes on each side and we should be done. When it is on there, I'm going to have it on the grill grates. If you don't have grill grates yet, they are a game changer. I'm going to leave a link down below on how you can get a hold of some. Get yourself some grill grates. All right, let's get over to the grill. So we got a little extra smoke today. Apparently it's burning off some grease from some pork spare ribs that I did a couple of days ago. But let's get this on here. Look at how thin that is. This is going to go quick. So here we go. This isn't going to take long at all. Maybe 2 minutes per side, maybe 3. Let's go ahead and see how our grill marks are looking. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous that's turning out. Now what I'll do is rotate a little bit. All right, it's time to flip it. Look at that color. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Okay, and now we flip again. This end's getting pretty done, so I'm just gonna flip it over on top there. It's so thin, really couldn't take any more heat. It would have been a little too tough. And it's time. Look at that gorgeousness. Look at how gorgeous that looks. All right. Look at that incredible steak. Came out so good. All right, so let's finish this meal. So I've got some rice that I cooked while the steak was cooking. And let's take a look at our steak. So now, first thing, we want to cut across the grain here. But in order to make it manageable, I'm going to slice this in half a little bit. Let's take a look at this side here. Now the grain is going this direction. So when I cut the smaller pieces, I want to cut it this way. But we're going to trim it down first. So then we want it across the grain, just like this. Nice and thin, maybe 1/4 inch. Just like that. Look at that. That's just beautiful. So I'll do the same thing. I'll get myself a section, then turn it and go across the grain, especially with the skirt steak. It is so, here, I'll show you some of it. It has such pronounced strands. Let me see if I can get in there. Look how long those strands are. If you would cut lengthwise, it would be chewy rather than a nice tender bite. So we definitely want to make sure that we cut across the grain. Now, I gotta try some of this. My God, that is really, really good. You've got to try out this recipe. Let's get this plated up. Got this gorgeous steak here that I am going to drape across. Now, while we were inside, I reduced some of the marinade. You want to do this, you don't want to use straight up marinade that you've used while marinating the steak, because it's going to have pathogens in it. It's going to have bacteria and all that from the raw meat. So you want to simmer it for a good long time. In the process, you're reducing it and you're concentrating the flavor. So now I've got this nice concentrated sauce that we can just drizzle right on top there. Then and there is your dinner, folks. Simple, quick and easy, and oh so flavorful. You gotta try it. I'm gonna try it. You go make this. I'm gonna eat what I just made. So good.